Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Dallin Anderson. Today we're going to talk about how having a schedule can change your life. So let's get straight into it. Having a schedule. So, for me personally, I never really had a schedule throughout my life. When I was younger, I was homeschooled, so we did have a schedule for our homeschool, which was super cool because we were able to kind of plan our day and be able to kind of have that consistency where your mind does the same things at relatively the same time each day. So when it comes to having a schedule, when I was younger, I sort of had a schedule a little bit. And of course, as I got older, I basically just completely stopped having a schedule because I was no longer being homeschooled. And yeah, so as I got older, past that point of not having a schedule, so even older than the older that I got, once I got past that point, then I started to think about my life a little bit more and setting goals and realized that having a schedule is something that you definitely want to have in your life. So let's talk about what having a schedule can do for you. Now, there's the obvious things that people think about when they think about a schedule. First of all, a schedule is going to give you more time. Why? Because anytime that you have a constraint on something, anytime that you actually bring rules and laws and guidelines into something, instead of you having less of that thing, you actually end up having more of that thing, right? For example, joy. Joy is a great example of this. A lot of times people, when they think of joy, they think of this object of something that they, in order to obtain more joy, they just need to have more freedom, right? So people think in their minds, I want to experience joy. And so they think that to experience more joy, then they should have less rules, less guidelines, right? Less regulation to really be free, to really let that joy come to the surface. But when they try it, they realize that having less rules, having less guidelines, just trying to do whatever you want to do, instead of that bringing more joy into your life, it takes away from your joy. So adding rules, adding guidelines, adding principles and laws for yourself, whether it's, rules associated with your time or rules associated with your morals, it's going to give you more of that thing that you're looking for. So yeah, the first thing that people think of is time. Well, maybe you think, well, if I get a schedule, I'm not going to have any time because it's all going to be scheduled. Well, you're not going to have any time to waste time, right? You're not going to have any time to do the things you used to do, sitting around scrolling on your phone, doing those things that wasted your time. Yeah, when you get a schedule, you're not going to have time to waste time because every single part of your day, or at least the majority of it, is going to be planned and mapped out. So yeah, but because of that, you'll have more time to do those things that are important, those things that are actually going to take you closer to your dreams and your goals, right? So yeah, adding that constraint, adding the rules actually gives for more effective use of your time, okay? So more freedom isn't always more freedom. Sometimes the most freeing thing is to have guidelines, rules, and boundaries and principles that you abide by in order to actually have real freedom, which is order, which is schedule, Because chaos is kind of the antithesis of freedom. Chaos is like, well, now you can't do the things you want to do because you're going everywhere all at once. And now you're not able to do the things you want to do. So by bringing order, by bringing constraint, by bringing principle into what you're doing, whether it's scheduling your time, choosing your morality, whatever it is, by bringing constraint, you actually get more of that thing. So yeah, time is obviously one of the main things that you're going to get more of by having a schedule, and that doesn't mean you're going to have more time to waste time, but it does mean you'll have more time to do those things that are important. Another thing that you're going to have more of is order, like I said, right? Because your life could be pretty complicated. It could be pretty chaotic. And if you don't have a schedule, then you're going to fall victim to all of those different outward things that are trying to grab your attention, your time, your focus. If you have a schedule, you can say no, right? Like I have a personal schedule. So if somebody texts me right before I'm about to make a YouTube video, I don't answer that text. Unless it's super urgent, in which case they'll probably call me. And even then I usually just decline, right? If I'm about to do a YouTube video, I decline. So because I have order in my life, I'm able to say no to certain things because I know exactly where I'm supposed to be and when I'm supposed to be there. And I'm the person that decided what's the most important thing to do with my time. So if somebody calls me and I'm about to do that thing that I know is important, I'll just hang up, right? Because I've already decided what is important to me, what my time is going to be spent doing. So that's the power of having a schedule. Is you bring that order into your life, all of a sudden, instead of you being a pawn on the chessboard, getting thrown around by every changing thing on the chessboard, now you're like a king or a queen, or especially like a queen or a bishop, where you can really move around that board and you're not just falling victim to everybody else's requests, right? So instead of being a pawn, you're actually a mover or a player in the game. How do you do that? Well, you set a goal for yourself, you schedule your time, and then nobody can tell you who you are. You already know who you are because you yourself decided who you are. So yeah, bringing order into your life is probably one of the most useful things I found from having a schedule. Just helps take that weight off. People waste too much time making decisions, right? What am I going to do with my time? Is this the right thing? Is that the right thing? Just schedule, then you don't have to choose. So yeah, it's going to bring more time into your life. It's going to bring more order into your life. It's also going to make your mind more clear. Okay? So obviously, if you have troubles with managing your time, your mind is going to be affected by that. So if you can't manage your time good, then what ends up happening is you start to feel the stress of feeling like you're not able to, you start to feel like you don't have control. And really, when you feel like you don't have control, it creates feelings of stress because the truth of the matter is you do have control, right? You can choose what to do with your time. You can schedule your time. So you do have control. So that feeling of not having control, that isn't true. You feel like that because you're a victim of your choices. You're a victim of not having a schedule, right? So it feels like you don't have control because in that moment you don't, but you can take control over it. And all of a sudden that feeling goes away and you have a lot more clear of a mind. and a clear mind brings success into your life. If you're trying to do something, like record this video right now that I'm recording, if I'm trying to record this video and I'm thinking in my mind all the time about whether this is the right thing for me to be doing or whether I should be doing something else because I haven't scheduled my time, that's going to definitely affect the ability I have to do a good job making this video, right? Because all of a sudden, my mind is not clear anymore. I'm thinking of a whole bunch of different things all at once because I haven't scheduled my time, and then that feeling of not being in control starts to take over and affect everything that you do. So you want to have control over your mind. You want to have a clear mind, and you get that through controlling your time, through disciplining yourself, and through knowing what you're supposed to do with your time in each and every moment of the day. Now, I personally don't follow this like a robotic machine, right? Because I'm a human being and not a robotic machine. And so I give myself a little bit of leeway, If there's a day that I have scheduled to make a certain type of video, but I really want to make a different video that day for a different thing, I'll do it, right? I'm not so dogmatic as to never be able to make a deviation from my schedule. But having a schedule and being disciplined with my schedule, significantly disciplined, I'm able to know what I'm going to do at that time 90% of the time. And if there's that one situation where I need to deviate from that, I will. Okay? But if you don't have a schedule in the first place, you can't make that deviation in confidence because you really don't trust that you're managing your own time. You can't lie to yourself, okay? This is true for finances, for time, for results, and if you're learning something like guitar, results in business, right? You can't lie to yourself. If you're not managing your time, deep down you know it, right? Same with your money. If you're not managing your money, deep down you know it. You're aware that you're not managing your money correctly. Because of that, you can't lie to yourself. It's going to affect your consciousness. It's going to affect your self-confidence. It's going to affect everything about you because you know deep down you're not managing your time. So in order to get that confidence, you got to manage your time. Schedule. If you manage your time and schedule, you're going to be confident in yourself and your ability to manage your time. Then if you want to make a small deviation from that for whatever reason, you can do it in confidence. You can just say, you know what? I'm going to make a deviation. 90% of the time I obey this perfectly. So I'm confident in my ability to manage my time. And I think it's the right thing to deviate in this case. So yeah, it's going to make your mind more clear. Like I said, it's going to increase your confidence as well. This is huge, right? People always say, well, confidence is big in business, right? Confidence really moves mountains. There's people out there that can barely read, write, spell, right? They can barely do math. They can barely do a lot of things. But because they're confident with people, because they know how to build good human relations, because they know how to lift people's spirits, because they know how to work with people, because they're confident in themselves, they're successful, right? Well, some people get that confidence. It comes from within. That confidence comes from within. So different people have different ways of drawing upon or cultivating or creating that confidence inside of them. But a good way to create confidence is to do the things that confident people do, right? Well, confident people talk to people. Confident people make jokes. Confident people don't get too worried in social situations. They just trust that Humans are meant to have social interaction, and so in social interactions, they just let things happen and they trust. So they're choosing to trust social interactions, that it's going to be enjoyable, that they'll say the right thing. So confident people are doing things that confident people do. That's why they're confident. Well, one of the ways to increase your confidence is to schedule your time, because really highly successful people schedule their time and they value their time. So if you want to be confident, scheduling your time is something confident people do. So yeah, it's a great way to increase your confidence to have a schedule. Another thing is you're going to get more done. You're going to get more done, right? If you know what you're supposed to do with your time, if you're an entrepreneur, for example, right, you have all this time in your day that most people don't have. Or maybe you're working another job, you're working on transitioning over, but still, during your entrepreneur time, you probably have quite a bit of time on your hands, right? If you're not scheduling that time, if you're just kind of hoping it all works out, 30 years down the road from now, and you've gone 30 years of just hoping it's going to work out, no schedule, no plan, no direction, no set in stone thing that you're going to do with your time each and every day, you're not going to make any progress, right? You can't just hope that you're going to be successful. You got to schedule your time. What's important, right? Is it important to make YouTube videos? Is outreach important? Do you need to be reaching out to customers on Facebook or groups, Discord, right? Do you need to be getting new customers, marketing ads? What's important? Maybe you need to make one video per week, right? Maybe you need to do, like I said, outreach. You can't make money without customers. So maybe you need to spend an hour every working day messaging people, 10, 20 people, to see if they're interested in your product and start reaching out. So yeah, you're going to get more done by scheduling your time, because you're going to be able to consistently hit that target right where you want to hit it every day that you're working on that thing, right? So scheduling your time is going to get more done. It's going to give you direction. It's going to help you just, consistently hit that target right where you want to hit it, instead of just hoping that over time you'll just magically run into success. It doesn't work like that. Successful people are successful because they do the things successful people do, which is scheduling their time, having a plan, a purpose, goals, direction, and commitment to those goals, belief and faith in those goals, and then they persist over time, not just hoping it's going to work out, but scheduling their time, having goals, figuring out what's important, what's not important, and actually persistently and consistently obeying those guidelines, rules, and schedules, and focusing on what's important and cutting out what's not important. If you're obedient to those goals you've set, to those rules, to your schedule, over time, if you're consistent and obedient to it, you're going to be successful, okay? It's going to build up momentum over time. You're going to start to reap the results of that momentum. You're going to be successful, I promise you. So you're going to get more done by having a schedule, and you're going to be much more successful as a result of getting more done, right? The other thing it's going to do, so it makes your mind more clear, but it also frees up your mind, okay? So this is a little bit different. What I'm really talking about here, making your mind more clear, is more a reference towards just not being organized. And so if you're not organized, your thoughts aren't going to be organized. If you can organize your thinking and your life, then it's going to stay consistent, right? If your life is organized, your thoughts will be organized. If your thoughts are organized, your life will be organized. So making your mind more clear is really having that organization so that you don't lose that clarity that you really need, that inward clarity. Freeing up your mind is decision making, right? How often do you have to sit there and make a decision? What are you going to wear today? What are you going to eat? What are you going to do? If you've already decided that, these two things are actually probably more similar than they are different, right? But I really need to reiterate this point, because if you've already decided what you're going to do with your time, boom, you free up your mind so much. You don't have to make a decision. So not only do you want to make your mind more clear by organizing your time, organizing your thoughts, but you also want to free up your mind by not having to make decisions, because it takes energy to make decisions, right? It takes energy to choose to do something, because the human mind wants to make the right decision. And so once it gets caught up in this whole, is this the right choice? Is that the right choice? And it sits there and can't make a decision, your energy levels, your focus levels, your self-confidence in yourself, it's just going to drop down so quickly, because people that are confident, people that are successful, make decisions quickly and they don't change them every day, right? They make a decision quickly and they stick to it. They maintain it until they feel like it's the right thing to change, which is less often than you think it is, right? Because the human brain likes to try to switch, likes to try to flip-flop between two sides, two extremes. So people will make a decision and then they'll want to make a different decision. Or in the morning, they're trying to decide what to eat, and it's like they want to make the right choice, but all this pressure they feel like there's all this pressure about what they should eat. They spend like 15 minutes deciding, and then all their mental energy is already gone. Because confident people don't spend 15 minutes deciding what they're going to eat, because they're important, right? They're needed somewhere. So they don't have time to spend 20 minutes worrying about what they should eat. They've already scheduled that. They've already planned what they should eat. So freeing up your mind is going to give you all this extra energy that was there already, but you're wasting it on things that weren't helpful, like choosing what you're going to eat, choosing what you're going to wear, choosing what you're going to do with your time. So yeah, freeing up your mind, very, very powerful. So having a schedule, again, is probably one of the best ways to unlock that side of yourself where you're able to get your dreams accomplished, you're able to reach your goals, because without that schedule, you're basically just hoping that you reach your goals. But with that schedule, you're able to say, well, this day I do this thing that gets me closer to my goal. That day I do this thing that gets me closer to my goal. This day I do these things that get me closer to my goal. And then you just do them. And if you have a good goal and you believe in yourself a little bit, you're persistent in achieving your dreams, that momentum's going to build up, right? And yeah, you're really going to be able to unlock that side of yourself that's capable of achieving your dreams. But until you schedule your time, you're just hoping. You're just shooting in the dark. And if you're shooting in the dark, you're probably going to miss, right? So you got to turn on the lights. And the best way to turn on the light is to have a schedule. Time is valuable. Money is cool, whatever, right? Money is cool. But once you get up to a certain level of success, you'll start to notice something really interesting. You'll start to notice that people that are really successful view time as being greater than money, right? So unsuccessful people, or people that haven't reached the higher levels of the pyramid as far as income and economic success goes, right? This is just a rule of thumb. This isn't to condemn people or overgeneralize. But what you do notice, what you will see, is that at higher levels, people value time more than money. At lower levels, people value money more than time. They flip this thing the other way around, okay? Where they put money at the top, and then they make money more valuable to them than time. Well, the successful person knows that he can make money. He can earn money, right? If he wants $1 million, he can earn $1 million. If he utilizes his time correctly, he can. What's even crazier is you can make $100,000 in a day, okay? You can make $100,000 in a day by putting very, very little time into it. If you have, for example, a product and you have reoccurring customers, maybe this is a product that lasts like 3 months, right? Maybe it's like a mastermind or something. So every 3 months, you get reoccurring customers, and that 3-month period is over, and you send an email out to all your customer list, and a good percentage of them repurchase. They want another 3 months of your service, and you also send it out to your email list so a bunch of new people come in. Then all of a sudden, all you did was spend 15 minutes writing an email that you sent out to your email list, you sent out to your people, and that single email made you $100,000 in an hour, right? That single email made you $100,000 in a single hour. You can see why people, they start to value money more than time. And because of that, they don't realize the nature of reality, because time is finite, but money isn't really finite, It's pretty abundant, but time is pretty scarce. So, what you do to kind of overcome this is you start to realize the way reality works. Well, if you work for yourself, then all of a sudden, you can make a little bit of time equal a lot of money. So money doesn't matter to you anymore in the same way it used to, as far as what's more important to you personally. But time becomes this thing where you're like, wow, I could be spending an hour doing this thing and it's going to give me these results, or I could be spending an hour doing this thing and it's going to get me these results, and these results are better and more in alignment with what I want. So I'm going to cut off that thing and focus on this thing. So yeah, as you go up that pyramid of success, of economic success, you're going to see people that really don't care that much about money in the way that you think they do. They don't worship money, and they don't worship time either, but they value the living heck out of time, right? They value it heavily. So yeah, you can make $100,000 in an hour after writing a 15-minute email if you understand that, you can leverage your time, leverage yourself. But you can't ever get that same time back. You can earn the money back, you can get the money back. The money is just transient, right? But the time, once it's spent, it's spent. I can't go back and get the years that I've already lived back. They're spent. The stuff that I did, the time I wasted, the time that I spent doing valuable, important things, it's already spent. I could have spent more time doing more important things, right? You could always look back at your life and say, oh, when I was young, I was wasting all this time doing this or that, right? But it's already spent, so I can't change it, but I can learn from it, right? I can look into the future and say, in the future, I don't want to waste so much time doing this thing, because I can spend more time doing these things, and those things are going to bring real value to the world, and really help change people's lives, improve somebody's life, reduce suffering, right? I'm going to do those things instead of just self-gratification. But yeah, you can't get back your time, but you can get back your money. I don't care if you're negative $1 million. You can get back your money if you spend your time wisely. So, time and scheduling is super important, you guys. And look at this. This is my schedule, all right? We're getting close here. We're 20, 30 minutes in, so probably won't go too crazy long today. This is my schedule, okay? And you can see it's very simple. I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I have something that I do each day, 3 major tasks, and then 1 kind of side task. And yeah, it's a very simple schedule. I don't have everything scheduled down to the minute, anything crazy, but I do have the important tasks that I want to accomplish each and every day. And it's awesome for me. It works, you know? On Monday, I have HAI videos, plus posting charts, family home evening, right? I just have these things, just a few simple things, nothing too crazy. These are the things that I feel like are the most important things. So I don't need 50 things on here. I just need to do a few things right every single day. And if I can do a few things right every single day and do a good job at those things consistently over time, I don't have to be doing 80 things in a single day. You know, I could be doing 2, 3. I don't have to have such a crazy, chaotic life. If I do 2 things, 3 things every day, and I do a really, really good job at those things, that's more important than doing 80 different things that you just weren't able to do good, that you weren't able to focus, that the quality of your work was bad, right? So yeah, just a couple things every day that I get done, that I do a good job at, and I make sure that I do a good job, and I practice, and I don't make too much pressure on myself, right? You don't want to be perfect all at once or whatever. But those simple things bring me closer to my goals, and I feel peace when I follow my schedule. When I don't follow my schedule, I start to wonder, okay, well, you know, what am I doing? What am I wasting my time? Am I letting somebody else take my time? And am I letting myself go spend my time with people, places, or things, doing things that aren't helpful, that are just kind of just a waste of time, just kind of killing time, idleness? If I'm doing that, then I don't feel good. But if I'm following my schedule, I feel good. I just feel better as a result of following this. And on Sunday, I just basically go to church, spend time with family, rejuvenate, you know. Saturday, there's a little bit of work, but it's not like Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, or Monday. So this is my personal schedule. Simple, just a few things every day. Some people like to go more crazy than this, more scheduled. This is how I do it. Also, when it comes to clothing, I don't choose what clothing I'm going to wear. I just grab a shirt, and I just grab either these leggings that I have. These aren't leggings. That's not the right term. These are just like sweats. That's the right term. Leggings are for women, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if leggings are a men thing at all. I'd have to look. But yeah, these sweats right here, I put these on every day, and I grab a t-shirt, and I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what. I just grab one, okay? And yeah, probably in the future, I'll probably just simplify it so I have the same color of shirt, like 5 pair, and the same color of jeans. And then I just grab those every day, and I just seriously don't care at all whether it's looks like some fancy pair of clothing or whatever. As long as it's nice looking, clean, as long as it looks good, you know, like a good, nice pair of jeans. They don't have to be crazy expensive, just good, reliable, nice pair of jeans and a good, nice, clean shirt. That's all I care about. For me, I don't want to make a bunch of decisions. So yeah, when it comes to clothes, that's what I do. When it comes to food, I have like 2-3 things I eat for breakfast. I either eat string cheese and a yogurt, or I have Germaid and a string cheese, which is kind of like a hot cereal, or I have eggs, right? And so in the morning, I haven't made a food plan yet, but I probably will at some point. But for now, I just basically just cycle between those things. And I don't spend time making the decision. I just grab one. You know, if I'm thinking, oh, should I eat eggs today, or should I drink a yogurt and eat a string cheese? Then I already know that I just need to cut that thought off, stop thinking like that, and just choose one, because it really doesn't matter, right? A yogurt and a string cheese is healthy. Fresh eggs, that's healthy. So it doesn't matter which one I choose. What matters is that I choose one and don't waste a bunch of time on making decisions. Okay? So yeah, scheduling can come down to also don't waste time choosing what clothes you wear. Don't waste time choosing what food you eat. Just spend your time doing those things that matter. Doing what's on your schedule. Those things that bring you closer to your goals, right? You've got goals. You've got dreams. You've got things you want to do. So in order to get to those goals, well, you're going to have to put time into those goals, right? You're going to have to put time and energy into those goals in order to accomplish them. Now, if you're spending all of your energy making decisions, you're not going to be able to spend very much energy working at your goals, right? And if you're spending all of your time trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing with your time, you're not going to have very much time left to reach your goals. So it's pretty simple, you guys. Time plus energy is how you create momentum towards your goals. And it's not time plus energy only, it's also time plus energy that's focused, right? This is why you need a schedule. In order to accomplish your goals, maybe you need to be posting once per week on YouTube, right? In order to really build your following up. And so maybe in order to reach your goal, it's not just time plus energy, it's time plus energy that's focused towards a specific task, right? So you have to have a specific task that you are focusing that time and that energy into. For example, if your goal is to, start a YouTube channel that helps people find success and be financially successful, how to manage their time, how to run their business, maybe like a consulting company. Maybe you're making consulting type videos for people that want to start a business. Well, if you're going to build your following, then you probably need to have like at least some type of content for people to come watch your videos. Otherwise, how are you going to build your following? You could use ads, in which case that would be your task to focus your time on, is using ads to build your following. But in this example, we're talking about maybe you need to make one YouTube video per week or per day, depending on your industry. And if you do that, if you stick to that goal, you've scheduled what day it is, you've planned, you even have a plan for what you're going to make your video about, so you don't have to choose what you're going to make your video about that day. You just already have it planned. Yeah, then you just make that YouTube video, and all of a sudden that time plus that energy is focused into a specific task that brings you closer to your goal. This is how you make progress. You can't make progress idly wishing, right? If you want to be that successful YouTuber, okay? Maybe you want to be a successful YouTuber, like I said, that teaches people how to become successful, run their businesses. Maybe you want to help people be successful at running their own business, and managing their time, right? Maybe a consulting type company like we were just talking about. If that's the case, if you want to do those things, you can't get there by just wishing. You can't just wish your way to success. Yes, you do want to visualize. Yes, you do want to dream. Yes, you do want to get excited. And yeah, of course you want to desire and wish. But you can't just live in your wish alone and hope that somehow just idly wishing for something you're going to bring it about. You can't do that. That won't work. You got to schedule your time, have a specific goal. So yeah, you want to have a dream, something you're wishing for, something you're dreaming into your life. But you're not going to get there just by dreaming alone or just by wishing alone. You're going to get there by making your plan, by committing yourself to that goal, and then scheduling your time so that you're consistently doing tasks that bring you toward your goals, right? And not even bring you towards your goals. What it really does is it makes you become your goals. Okay? Because if you're trying to draw your goals to you, like some distant thing, you're going to see yourself as being separate from your goals. But instead, if you schedule your time, you plan your time, and you work towards something, instead of, well, not work towards, we won't use that language. If you schedule your time, if you have a goal and you're focused on that goal, instead of seeing yourself as separate from that goal, you're able to do those things every single day. And yeah, it does sort of bring you closer to your goals, but not really. What's really happening is you're becoming your goals, right? So it's not like it's bringing your goals closer to you. You're actually becoming the essence of your goal. That's the way it really works. Because if you're trying to draw something to you, again, you see that thing as separate from you. But if you become your goal, then the essence of that thing becomes the essence of you. So you actually embody your goal. And you do that through time, through having specific tasks, through being obedient to your schedule, so that you actually do the thing that you said you're going to do. And when you do that thing, you become your goal. You're not, like I said, you're not trying to draw that goal to you. You're not really even trying to transform yourself. You're just becoming your goal. When you do the thing, the task that's in alignment with your vision, that's in alignment with your plan, that's in alignment with your mission statement, you become your goal. So yeah, through the process of scheduling your time, yes, you are going to achieve your goals. Yes, if you want to use the language, you will draw them to you. But the way I prefer to look at it is that you become your goal, that you actually become the thing that you're trying to do. Because that way it becomes real to you. It becomes a stepping stone. It becomes each and every day you're becoming that thing instead of trying to achieve that thing, instead of trying to force that thing into your reality. You're just becoming that thing. But you become that thing through doing the things. You become that person through doing the things that person would do. And you can't do those things until you have a goal, until you have a plan, until you have a schedule. Otherwise, you're just going to be idly wishing, hoping that by some magical miracle, it's going to happen. And it never will. Very, very unlikely that it's just going to happen. So yeah, you got to do the things that the person does who is the person you want to be. So if you have a goal, and that goal is specific, it's defined to you, you know what it is, you just do the things that that person would do, and you become your goal. You become that person. But until you schedule your time, you can't do those things because you're probably just going to be hoping that it all works out. Now, let me tell you a story, and then I got to go because we're going longer than I planned. So when I first started my first company, my first business was High Altitude Investing, okay? Now, this was back in, let's see, I created the channel, I think, in either 2015 or 2016 is when I was first created. Now, when I created this YouTube channel, at the start, it was just kind of just an idea, right? It was definitely a dream, like a wish that I have and had at the time. And basically, I could see it in my mind, but I had no idea how it was going to happen. I just kind of thought, well, I could be an investor. I like cryptocurrency. I like YouTube. Maybe I can post videos about what I'm seeing in the charts, even though I don't even really understand the charts yet. And maybe I can help some people. And maybe I can get good at this investing thing and maybe earn some money doing it, in an honest, legitimate sort of way. So then I created High Altitude in 2016, but then I started uploading once per week, okay? So I made a schedule. I started uploading once per week. And at the start, I basically had no momentum. Nobody watched my videos. Nobody really cared. I only got like 300 subscribers after a full year of uploading once per week. But what I did was I built the foundation of having a goal and having a schedule and persistently and consistently working towards that goal. Even if I only got 300 subscribers and nobody cared, I started to build the fundamental foundations of success in my life. So then what happened was the market started to increase in value faster and faster. So instead I started from uploading once per week to once per day, okay? Now, this isn't always necessary. Sometimes less work actually gets more results. So when I say this, don't just assume that just increasing the amount of times that you upload is automatically going to increase your success. It can, it could. It's not always the case. But in this specific case, going from uploading once per week to once per day in conjunction with the market starting to take off, that's when I went from 300 subs to like 20,000, right? So then I had 20,000 subs. Okay, and 20,000 subscribers is a lot of leverage. All of a sudden, you can earn money, helping other people earn money inside of the markets. You can help other people earn money, and therefore you're going to earn more money yourself, and you're not going to have to spend tons and tons of time to help these people, because all you got to do is post one YouTube video, and all of a sudden 5,000 people, or how many views it gets, got advice or got help or tips or whatever on how to do what they want to do better, which in this case was be a successful investor. And for me, I'm not giving advice on this channel because it's not investment advice. It's just what I've learned in my trading journal. But still, 5,000 people see the video, and look how much leverage that is. Most people, to influence 5,000 people, it takes a lot of time. You're going to have to go out and talk to 5,000 people. But if you have a YouTube channel with 20,000 subscribers, all of a sudden, your time, you can spend a very little amount of time and get a lot of, success as a result of that little time that you spent doing that thing. So all of a sudden I had leverage. Well, this came because of a schedule. This came because I uploaded once a week and built my way up to 300 subscribers, very slow and steady. And then I started uploading once per day, built my way up to 20,000 subscribers a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. And of course, that led to having a lot more influence, a lot more leverage than you would if you didn't have a YouTube channel with 20,000 subscribers. Okay, so that's a little story. Personal success story. And of course, later, my business did go ahead and grow even more. I gained even more subscribers. I earned a lot of money investing and helping other people invest in the markets. And it was super, super cool. But it all started with having a schedule of uploading once per week and having a specific goal in mind, right? I wanted to do crypto investing on YouTube. Specific goal in mind. So I have a specific goal, then I have a schedule for reaching that goal, and then over time of consistently sticking to that schedule, I was able to build momentum. That momentum created success. That success changed my life financially and in a lot of other ways as well. But yeah, you can see how having a schedule and having a goal brings success into your life. And even if at the start it's slow and steady as it truly should be, then it's going to pick up momentum, and over time you're going to start to reap the results of all your efforts. So yeah, having a schedule will change your life, you guys. I promise you. Just take a little bit of time to make a schedule. Like I said, mine is super simple. You can look at it here if you want to. Copy it if you like. But yeah, just make a schedule. Have a good goal. Have a worthy goal, something that's good for you, for society. Consistently work towards it, deliberately and consistently with a schedule. You're going to build that momentum. That momentum is going to make you successful. So long as you do good quality work, right? Because you can't just upload once per week and then make just some terrible, low quality, completely useless, not even helpful video. You know, you want to actually make a good video. You can't just schedule your time and say, this day I'm going to do this thing, that day I'm going to do that thing, and then each one of those tasks, you do a bad job, right? You're not going to build momentum that way. You're going to build anti-momentum. So, yeah, you want to build true momentum, do a good job, put your heart into it, and you're going to be successful. If you have a plan, you have a goal, and you're consistent. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Go make your schedule. Go utilize your time. Start to value time more than money, because that's what really successful people do. And I will see you guys in future videos. As always, peace be unto you.